Hi BookTube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I realize that many of you may have never made it to the end of one of my videos, so I'm going to start this video with how I normally end my videos, which is please be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And being kind to others could definitely include or encompass wearing a mask. I am the only person in my office building where there are multiple businesses. I am the only person who wears a mask. It's an important time to extend kindness to others, I think. And I have experienced that this week. I just want to start this video, and I am going to get to what I'm reading here, I promise, but we really have to talk about the elections, okay? So, I want to thank Jason Harrigan and Karen Evans. I had some professional situations this week that were really stressful, and they both told me that they were going to be thinking about me during those times, and I just want them to know how grateful I am for that. I'm also really astonished and grateful to those of you who live in other countries who reached out to Jason and I this week. I was completely taken off guard by how many people sent us Voxer messages saying, "We're watching the election coverage," or "Oh, it's finally over, Biden has won, and we're so happy for you." I want each of you to know that meant a lot to us, and it certainly, I don't know, I guess it helps to feel like other countries are like rooting for you. And it was an extremely stressful week. However, there have been some things said that I want to address as well. People have been talking about how Biden has won, a historic number of votes. Donald Trump also had 70 million votes, so it's not as though there weren't people out there voting for him. And I think the historic number of votes definitely has to do with the fact that every American was mailed a ballot. It was the easiest thing in the world to do. To give you some perspective, Wyoming, we have 3 votes in the Electoral College. Neither one of the presidential candidates came to Wyoming during this election period. Not at all, okay? So we're not really an important state in the grand scheme of things. Certainly, if a Democrat were to win Wyoming, that would be maybe a first. It's a very, very Republican state. 70% of the people who voted for Trump. Do I think that means that 70% of the voters in Wyoming are Nazis? No. I think President Trump's behavior has made it more socially acceptable to be racist, to be sexist, to be a big bully, to feel like your rights are the only rights that matter. And I think that in my state there has been some of that, people feel like maybe they were trying to hide it, and now they feel like it's okay for them to bring their racist remarks out to the forefront. But truthfully, I think the people of my state, it wasn't so much that they were for Donald Trump as they are afraid of what would happen to there's certain topics that are really, really important in my state. The people in Wyoming are concerned about the fossil fuel industry, anything to do with mineral oil and gas. it is so important to the economy of Wyoming. So if they feel like Biden is going to, get rid of fracking, not going to, and I think that's a mistake for the environment, but nonetheless, like, he did say that he wasn't going to get rid of fracking, but he did point out the fact that these resources are finite, and eventually we will run out of them. But the mineral and that whole area, fossil fuels, like, is so vital to the economy of Wyoming. Second issue is guns. Our state is probably more armed, even if you take the military base and the National Guard out of it. Like, if you if you were to somehow, like, pick them up and put them aside, like, just the number of guns owned by the people in this community or in this state, individual gun ownership is huge, and we are incredibly armed. Not Jason and I, but pretty much almost everyone else. So, and I think people are really concerned that a Democrat or a more progressive leader is going to take their guns away. That right to bear arms is very, very important to the people in my state. That does not mean that they're Nazis. It may mean they're a little crazy. I also think, again, the fact that voters were basically sent ballots to their home, and they could mail in their own ballot. Obviously that's true for absentee people who are normally registered as absentee voters in the state, but to have it sent to your home, I think encouraged a lot of people who, oh, it's so inconvenient to get to the courthouse, that sort of thing. They wouldn't have voted, and so they did. And again, another thing, and I don't know, this is not true of every Republican. Please, I don't want to make broad, sweeping statements, but I know growing up that a cultural value in my state of the Republican Party was to simply look for the R's, okay? Like, whoever is the Republican, that's who you vote for. And I'm not saying that's true for everyone, but this may come as a surprise to some of you, but Jason and I are registered Republicans. And the reason is because that's the only way in the primary leading up to the general election that we have any say in who might be on that ballot. A Democratic primary ballot in Wyoming is largely blank, okay? Like, there's not a lot of people on it. So it's important for us to be able to vote for the things that might actually matter. Our presidential vote does not matter, unfortunately, which is part of why I think we should get rid of the Electoral College. We still vote in the presidential election, but for us, the main thing is to be able to have a say in who's on the city council, who's on the board of county commissioners, who's going to be our representative to the legislature, those kinds of things. So, even I don't even think voting for our senators and representatives on the national level makes that much difference. But so those are just some thoughts about the election overall. Like, I mean, I was hoping that Biden it would be a landslide, but clearly we have a lot to do. We have a lot of work in America, and I think this election really showed how divided we are, and we have to find some way to bridge that gap. And I don't know how to do that, but I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. If you have any thoughts about the election, please feel free, and please be respectful of other people's opinions in the comment section down below. I do want to tell you about the book I've been reading this week. mainly this weekend because I just want to be done with it. This is part of my Curious Adventure read. That's by Ken Mansfield. It's called Between Wyomings. What in your mind? Just tell me what you think that might mean. What might that mean? Between Wyomings. What could that book be about? The subtitle is My God and an iPod on the Open Road. I have less than 100 pages left in this book. I am hellbound on to finish it today and be done with it. And I've really only kept reading because I want to know what the title means. Because again, I am 2/3 of the way through this book, and the word Wyoming has not been mentioned once. They're in this van that they have named Moses, and they haven't even gone through Wyoming. I mean, I think they're in Nashville right now, or Kentucky maybe. Anyway, so they're a long way from Wyoming. I'm very disappointed. I have had a couple of books this year that I was really, really expecting to be about one thing, and then they were about something else. And so here's another example of that, and I'm just going to read this and then get rid of it. But I will tell you more about this in a future video because it deserves conversation. So anyway, I don't think... do I think the worst is over? No, we're still in the midst of a horrific pandemic. It's not even a curve in Wyoming right now. It is just straight up, and just shocking numbers this week. It's been a very, very stressful week. And again, I want to thank all of you who reached out to me or thought about me in one way or another. I'm so grateful for that. Let me know how your weekend has been. Again, if you'd like to share your thoughts on the election, please feel free in the comment section below. As always, be polite and respectful. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will talk to you soon, BookTube. Take care.